The Control Plus system of LEGO Technic is fundamentally flawed. From the lack of an easy plug-and-play experience to a missing physical controller, the system's flaws give it a poor reception. So, I'm going to explain exactly how the Control Plus system can be fixed very easily and become much better than power functions. There are three main things that would make Control Plus the ideal system for motorization. The first thing Control Plus needs is to bring back the accessory box. This was used to upgrade the cheap Technic sets for only an additional $30. For example, you could get a $60 pneumatic set along with the accessory box for a mere $90, in comparison to $150 today where the set is not motorized and has no easy way to be upgraded. The powered up accessory box would essentially be the successor to the old one, containing a battery box, a motor, lights, all of the old extra pieces, along with the linear clutch pieces. The winter waves of LEGO Technic have been getting pretty boring. In January 2021, we have received nothing but cars, excluding the tiny sets of course. The powered-up accessory box could make all of these cars way more interesting. For example, the Ferrari could have a dedicated place for the motor connecting it to the drivetrain, as well as a place for the battery box given the hollow empty space inside. The car could become motorized for an additional $30. If the accessory box is being sold, then the Technic designers are required to design many sets to be easily upgradable. Mechanisms like distribution gearboxes, pneumatics, and more will all automatically make way into cheaper Technic sets for under $100. These two Technic mobile cranes prove exactly that Technic sets automatically become more advanced with the presence of an accessory box. Both of these mobile cranes contain nearly the same amount of pieces, they retailed for the exact same price, and they're in the same scale. Yet the 2020 version lacks a gearbox or any other advanced Technic functionality. The 2010 version contained a distribution gearbox as well as motor upgradability and was overall a much better set than the new version. It is important to note that the reason why the old version included these advanced mechanisms is because it was designed to be partnered with the accessory box. The motor set contains only one motor, and so a gearbox is required to control multiple functions. Without motorization, there is no requirement to have one axle control two functions, and as a result, the sets end up lacking any advanced mechanisms. Right now, the only Technic set you can buy with advanced mechanisms under $100 is the Ducati motorcycle. There were so many advanced sets that cost under $100, such as the front loader, the two excavators, the Arctic truck, the telehandler, and so much more. Bringing back the accessory box would automatically bring many of those advanced Technic mechanisms into much cheaper sets. If you're enjoying the video so far and you would like to uncover all the secrets of LEGO Technic, such as why LEGO will never make a powered-up controller, then make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. But no pressure. No pressure. The second way to fix the Control Plus system is to introduce a variety of different cables, including extenders of various lengths, splitters, and power functions to powered up converters. I think that the splitter is the single most important component that should exist in the powered up line. Power functions had stackable cables, meaning you could theoretically connect an infinite amount of electronics to just one battery box. This was a lifesaver when it came to connecting many lights to just one port, or if you needed to connect a dual motor drive to just one receiver output. Right now, the Mercedes-Benz Z-Tros trial truck uses all four of the available ports, but if there was a splitter, one port could be freed up, available to use for some extra lights. A common theory for why splitters never came out is because it wouldn't allow for independent motor control, as Control Plus requires each motor to be fully independent. However, with the LEGO Mindstorms NXT, a company called Mind Sensors actually developed a motor multiplexer, and other companies also developed these multiplexers that allowed you to build some insane robots long before the days of daisy chaining with the EV3. The Mindstorms NXT cables and the powered up ones actually both have 6 wires on the inside, meaning it's essentially the same cable, so making splitters using the Mindstorms technology would be very easy. Adding multiplexers would bring back the same customization capabilities that were present in power functions. LEGO should also make converter cables from power functions to powered up and vice versa. Just 1 year after the release of power functions, we already got power functions to 9-volt converter cables. This made the transition much smoother, and adding the compatibility between powered up and power functions would open a whole new world of possibilities. For example, it would allow you to connect the fiber optics light unit to the Control Plus hub, allowing you to program a wonderful light show. Also, there should be converter cables from powered up to the NXT cables, and since both systems have the same exact number of wires, you could use anything you wanted from LEGO Mindstorms with a Control Plus system. Just imagine being able to connect those insanely powerful motors, a sound sensor, all of the high technic components, or an RFID sensor. Such a cable would truly be groundbreaking and would open up infinite possibilities. Cameras and even fingerprint scanners would finally be compatible with a powered up system and would make Control Plus so much cooler. The third way to fix the Control Plus system is to split the motorized Technic sets into two categories. On one side, we have the remotely controlled sets like the Cat D11 Bulldozer, which require an app to function due to their advanced movements. On the other side, we have the cheaper Technic sets which only have basic motor movement, and this would give the option to buy sets that don't require the use of a smartphone. This would be greatly beneficial if you don't have a smartphone or if you're a parent that wants to limit your kids' screen time. Furthermore, it would encourage LEGO to make more sets like the Bell Boeing V22 Osprey, that is, to have them be controlled only by a gearbox and one motor. The Mercedes-Benz Unimog U400, the Aurochs, the Bucket Wheel Excavator, the Claas Xeron Tractor, the Air Race Jet, and the Heavy Lift Helicopter were all controlled by just a single motor with a gearbox, and all of these are considered legendary sets. Not only do these sets have some of the best mechanisms, but they also offer much better value since they can be sold at a much cheaper price. For example, the Bell Boeing V22 Osprey was actually supposed to retail for only $150. This is a much better deal than the $130 remote control cars or the $250, $300, and $450 remotely controlled vehicles. You could get much of the same mechanisms as a $250 set for only $150, or maybe you could get the insanity of the Cat D11 Bulldozer for only $250. Having every motorized set be remotely controlled is not good. It ends up raising the price to extreme levels, and most of the affordable sets lack any good mechanisms. In my opinion, for every remotely controlled Technic set, there should also be at least one motorized set with one motor and a gearbox. That way, there are more affordable options with insanely advanced mechanisms. But what about a physical controller? Wouldn't that fix many of the issues with Control Plus? We could have a controller with proportional sliders and multiple modes. One of the modes makes the powered up motor act as a servo, while the other simply turns the motor into a 90-degree stepper by using these buttons. But physical controllers still have tons of issues, such as the lack of compatibility across all Technic sets. And if you'd like to learn why, then click on the video over on the right hand side. This is your Unbreak Me here, and I'll see you in the next one.